Okay, so here we are. This is the Word template that we're going to use to create our PDF report and document this project. As you can see, I've prepared a cover page for you with our logo and the title of the project. And you've got to put your details in here. That's your name, student number, and the date. Now, the other thing I've included in this template is a cut and paste from the design brief that you were given in week 1. I've left a blank page here for the table of contents, and as you can see here, I've got a number of elements that are just cut and paste. Okay, so we're ready to start formatting this document. I've cut and pasted the content of the design brief you were giving in week 1 into this report template. So make sure you've got the tab at the top here set to home, and then you want to come across here and check the style sheets organized properly. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you've got heading 1 and heading 2 switched on. You can see in this case here that let me just put this into one page. There we go, that'll make it a little bit easier. So we go into home. So there's no heading 2, and yet we need it. If it's missing, go into this section along here under styles and find it. And essentially we're switching on this section here called manage styles. And we need to have a look for these headings. So I'm changing this to alphabetical. I'm going to look under heading 2. I know I need it to create my PDF document in order to bookmark it. I'm going to switch on heading 2 and I'm going to show it. Okay? And I'm going to say I want everything to be kept that way in the future. So now you see heading 2's appeared up here. So if you don't have the correct heading set that you're after, go in here and actually pick the one that you really want. In the design section, there's a whole series of other style sheets and formatting, so you might want to pick one of these. If you go back to home, heading 2 is still there, so we should be all right. Okay, so the project name is Eggmate. I'm going to make that heading 1. I don't like that design. I don't like this color that is put in here, so I'm going to go back to design. So try to choose something pretty simple, pretty boring really, with a font you're quite happy with. Let's see what that is. So you can see it's interactively changing the style sheet depending on what you've clicked. So maybe I'll use that one there. So that's the style sheet I'm using under design. Back to home, heading 1, heading 2, good. So that should be heading 1. Now under key objectives, I want to make that heading 2, and we'll be able to write a little bit something about this. So I know I'm going to have a little bit of space under here, so I'm going to click in here and switch on insert page break. So right away I've made another page. And then this is the scope of the project. Okay, so this is what we've got to cover. So there's 3 things. So the scope, let's go into home. We'll make it heading 2. And then the first one's the Sydney Opera House. So we'll need a page break in there. Insert page break. Come down to the next one. Home, heading 2. Insert page break. So you can see right from the beginning I'm starting to structure this document to enable me to get some space so that I can actually put some content in. Target market, I think that's an important element. We need to write something about that, do some research on that. And you can see here I'm just repeating this process of setting up various page breaks. Now you can't really see where these page breaks are, it doesn't show them unless you, in the home menu, go back and turn on this little device here called a Pilcrow. So if you switch this on, you'll see these little dots where you've got various formatting in Word, and these are very important when it shows you where the page breaks are. So you can just switch it on and off anytime you want to see how the document's structured. So let's pretend that's we've completed the whole document that way. I'm going to leave you to do the other elements of it. This section here, we might expand it for notes. Not in scope, yep, I think that's important, what's not in the project. and then of course these are the big sections in here. What's the initial concept due? Insert page break, and grab this and heading 2. So I'm going to let you create the headings you'll need, because each one of these sections may need a separate heading. The reason for doing this is that once we've completed all of our documentation and we want to submit it, we're going to save it as a PDF. Now, if you have in the options menu this checkbox picked, create bookmark using headings, so you'll find it under options, create bookmarks using headings, then the process is automatic. So you can structure a long, complicated document very simply, and what it does is it produces a top heading here, Project Eggmate, and then underneath it all, each of those sections has a separate area, and that way we can really start to structure our documentation. So that's the first part of this lesson. The next part will talk about how to put images in and how to do referencing and bibliography.